Sarah stood at the entrance of the Galactic Academy, her heart pounding with excitement and nerves. This was not just any school. It was a prestigious institution known for training the best warriors from across the galaxy. Aliens of all shapes and sizes bustled around her, each one uniquely different. Some had shimmering scales, while others had multiple arms or glowing eyes. She felt small among them, but she was determined to prove herself. As she walked through the grand halls, she overheard alien students talking in hushed tones. They were discussing the human, a Death Worlder, who was coming to showcase his skills. Sarah knew they were talking about her. It made her feel both proud and anxious. Could she live up to their expectations? Would they see her as just another human, or could she show them that humans had something special to offer? When the first class began, the alien teachers entered the room, their presence commanding respect. They started discussing complex battle strategies that involved advanced technology and intricate planning. Sarah listened carefully but noticed the students exchanging glances of confusion and skepticism when she shared her ideas. "I believe in thinking on your feet and adapting quickly to changes," she said, trying to sound confident. Some students chuckled softly, clearly doubting her methods. Sarah felt a wave of determination wash over her. She was here to prove them wrong and show them that humans could be just as resourceful as any alien warrior. As the first lesson began, the atmosphere in the classroom was thick with tension. The alien teacher, a tall being with blue skin and sharp features, introduced the day's topic, advanced combat tactics. The students settled into their seats, eager to learn about the latest technologies and strategies that would give them an edge in battle. The teacher presented a complex holographic display, showing a battle scenario between multiple alien factions. Each move was calculated, every action planned down to the smallest detail. Sarah watched, fascinated, but she couldn't help feeling out of place. The other students were familiar with these tactics, while she had learned in a very different way. When the teacher asked for input, Sarah raised her hand hesitantly. "What if we don't stick to a plan? Sometimes the best way to win is to adapt and think quickly," she suggested, hoping to share her perspective. The room fell silent. The alien students exchanged glances, some rolling their eyes, while others looked genuinely curious. The teacher frowned, clearly unimpressed. "That is not how we fight in the galaxy. Strategy is about control, not chaos," he replied sharply. A wave of embarrassment washed over Sarah, but she stood her ground. "Maybe chaos can lead to new opportunities," she insisted, her voice stronger now. The students seemed surprised by her boldness. For a moment, the teacher looked thoughtful, as if considering her words. As the lesson continued, Sarah felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps she could change their minds. Maybe they would see that human creativity could be just as powerful as their advanced technology. The battle for respect had just begun. After the first lesson, the atmosphere in the Galactic Academy shifted. Whispers circulated about Sarah's bold ideas, and some alien students began to take notice. They were curious about this human who dared to challenge their ways. However, many still viewed her with skepticism, unsure if she could really stand up to their advanced training. A few days later, the Academy announced a simulation battle, a chance for students to put their skills to the test. The instructor, a stern alien known for his strictness, explained the rules. Teams would face off in a virtual battlefield, simulating real combat situations. Each team would strategize and execute their plans while dealing with unpredictable challenges. The winning team would earn the title of Best Warriors of the Academy. Sarah's heart raced with excitement and fear. This was her chance to show everyone what she was capable of. She quickly formed a team with a few other human students and some curious aliens who were willing to try her approach. They gathered in a small room to discuss their strategy. "Let's stick to the basics," one of the alien students said. "We should plan everything step by step." But Sarah shook her head. "What if we encounter something unexpected? We need to be ready to adapt, to change our plans on the fly. We should focus on using our surroundings to our advantage." Some team members looked unsure, but Sarah's confidence began to inspire them. They decided to combine their ideas, balancing traditional tactics with her suggestions about adaptability. On the day of the simulation, the training hall buzzed with energy. Teams gathered in front of large screens displaying the virtual battlefield. The instructor explained the layout: a ruined city filled with obstacles and hidden dangers. As Sarah looked at the screen, she felt a surge of determination. She could do this. When the simulation began, the chaos erupted almost instantly. Sarah's team charged into the virtual city, and they quickly encountered their opponents, a team of aliens known for their advanced combat skills and strategic planning. The alien team quickly set up barriers and began launching attacks, using their technology to gain an early advantage. At first, Sarah's team struggled to keep up. The aliens seemed to anticipate their every move, and Sarah felt a wave of panic wash over her. Just as she thought they would fail, she remembered her training back on Earth, how to think on her feet and use the environment. "Everyone, let's split up," Sarah shouted, her voice cutting through the noise. "We can confuse them. Use the rubble for cover and attack from different angles." Her teammates hesitated but then quickly followed her lead. They darted behind broken walls and scattered debris, moving like shadows. Sarah's heart raced as she saw the alien team growing frustrated, unable to predict their sudden change in tactics. One by one, her teammates started to pick off their opponents. Sarah felt a thrill of excitement as she moved, adapting to the situation, quickly changing her plans based on what she saw. She noticed an alien trying to flank her from the side and swiftly altered her position, catching him off guard and forcing him to retreat. The tide began to turn. The alien team struggled to keep track of Sarah's group, which was now moving fluidly around the battlefield. The instructor watched intently, his expression shifting from disapproval to surprise. As the battle continued, Sarah's team gained confidence. They began communicating more effectively, listening to each other's ideas. Sarah's leadership and adaptability inspired them to take risks and think creatively. Finally, in a climactic moment, Sarah spotted a group of aliens attempting to regroup. "Now, let's hit them hard," she yelled, rallying her team. With a coordinated attack, they overwhelmed their opponents. The alien team fell back, and victory was theirs. As the simulation ended, cheers erupted from Sarah's team. They had done the impossible. They had beaten a team known for their skills. The instructor's expression changed from stern to impressed. He announced, "We have witnessed an unexpected victory today. It shows that different approaches can yield powerful results." Sarah beamed with pride. She had proven that adaptability and creativity were just as important as advanced tactics. Her fellow students looked at her with newfound respect, realizing that humans had something unique to offer. This was just the beginning of a new understanding between humans and aliens in the Academy. After their stunning victory in the simulation battle, Sarah and her team were buzzing with excitement. They had not only proven themselves against the alien team, but had also shown the entire Academy that humans could be just as resourceful and strategic as any alien warrior. The hallways were alive with conversations about their unexpected win, and Sarah could feel a shift in how the other students viewed her and her team. As they gathered in the common area to celebrate, Sarah noticed a group of alien students watching them from a distance. They were the ones who had laughed at her during her earlier class discussions. Now, their expressions were different. Instead of mockery, there was curiosity. One of the students, a tall alien with green skin and 4 arms, approached them. "Congratulations on your victory," he said, his tone sincere. "Your tactics were unconventional, but they worked." Sarah smiled, feeling a rush of pride. "Thanks. We just decided to adapt and use what we had around us," she replied, eager to share her perspective. The alien nodded, clearly contemplating her words. "Maybe there is something to your approach. Would you be willing to train with us? I think we could learn a lot from each other." The invitation surprised Sarah, but she eagerly agreed. "Absolutely. I'd love to share ideas and learn from you too." As they began discussing plans for future training sessions, Sarah felt a sense of belonging grow within her. This was what she had hoped for: collaboration and friendship across species. The next few weeks at the academy were filled with joint training sessions. Sarah and her team worked alongside their new alien friends, exchanging techniques and strategies. They practiced different scenarios, blending human adaptability with alien technology and advanced combat skills. During one session, they explored the concept of in-the-moment decision-making. Sarah set up a series of challenges, forcing the teams to think quickly and change their plans based on unexpected obstacles. The alien students were initially hesitant but soon caught on, enjoying the challenge of adapting on the fly. One day, while working on a particularly tricky exercise, Sarah suggested they include distractions to confuse their opponents. "Let's use sound and light to mislead them," she said excitedly. The alien students exchanged glances, intrigued but unsure. They decided to give it a try. In the next simulation, they set off explosions in different areas, creating chaos on the battlefield. To their surprise, it worked. The alien team found themselves distracted, allowing Sarah's group to maneuver around and secure the win once more. As the days turned into weeks, Sarah noticed a remarkable transformation among her fellow students. The aliens started embracing her unconventional ideas and even began suggesting their own. They discussed not just combat tactics, but also cultural perspectives and histories, deepening their understanding of one another. However, not all the alien students were open to this new approach. A group of traditionalists still held on to their skepticism, believing that only their advanced strategies were superior. One of the leaders of this group, an alien with sharp features and a piercing gaze, openly challenged Sarah during a meeting. "Your tactics may have worked in simulations, but in real battles, there is no room for mistakes," he stated coldly. "We fight to win, not to play games." Sarah felt a surge of determination. "But what if our mistakes lead to new ideas and strategies?" she countered. "Every great warrior learns from failure. It's how we grow stronger." The room fell silent. Sarah could see the divide among the students. Some nodded in agreement, while others remained unconvinced. This was a crucial moment. Would she be able to bridge the gap and prove that both traditional and unconventional methods had their place in combat? Over the next few days, Sarah and her team continued to train, and word about their unique techniques spread throughout the academy. Students from different factions began joining their sessions, eager to learn and adapt. Sarah's group became known for their innovative approach, and the instructor began to incorporate their ideas into the official training curriculum. As more students participated, Sarah felt a growing sense of pride and responsibility. She had not only changed how her fellow students viewed humans, but she had also inspired a movement toward open-mindedness and collaboration in the academy. The challenges ahead would not be easy, but she was ready to face them, one lesson at a time. In the heart of the academy, surrounded by friends and allies, Sarah felt more at home than ever before. The journey of a human warrior was just beginning, and she was determined to show the galaxy that adaptability and creativity could forge powerful paths in any battle. As Sarah's reputation at the Galactic Academy grew, so did the anticipation of an upcoming event, the Intergalactic Combat Games. This prestigious competition brought together elite warriors from across the galaxy to showcase their skills in various combat scenarios. It was a chance for Sarah and her friends to prove themselves on a much larger stage. The academy buzzed with excitement in the weeks leading up to the event. Alien students practiced tirelessly, preparing their advanced combat techniques. But Sarah's team was focused on something different. They believed that their unique blend of adaptability and teamwork could give them an edge. As the day of the combat games arrived, Sarah and her teammates gathered in the main hall, filled with a mixture of excitement and nerves. They could see representatives from various alien factions, each one showcasing their advanced technology and intimidating presence. Sarah's heart raced as she took in the sights. It was a whole new level of competition. "Remember, we have each other's backs," Sarah reminded her team, trying to calm their nerves. "Let's stick to what we've practiced. Adapt, communicate, and don't hesitate to think outside the box." The opening ceremony was grand, with dazzling displays of technology and skill. Each team was introduced, and the crowd cheered for the more familiar, powerful alien factions. When Sarah's team was announced as the Human Coalition, a few audience members exchanged skeptical glances, but they were mostly met with curiosity. Finally, the first event began. Teams were pitted against each other in a series of challenges. The first test involved navigating through an obstacle course filled with traps and hidden dangers. Sarah and her team moved confidently, relying on their training. They used their understanding of the terrain and adjusted their tactics based on what they encountered. As they entered the course, the atmosphere shifted. Each obstacle was designed to test their agility, speed, and teamwork. A sudden explosion echoed in the distance, followed by a loud alarm. The alien teams rushed ahead, using their advanced technology to gain an early advantage. Sarah felt the pressure rise but reminded herself of their unique strengths. "Stick together," she called out as they approached a massive wall, towering high above them. They had to scale it quickly, and Sarah suggested they use the debris around them as makeshift tools. One of her teammates, a skilled climber, helped lead the way, while others followed, supporting one another. The crowd watched in awe as they tackled the obstacle. As they climbed, Sarah noticed the other teams getting frustrated, relying solely on their technology. They struggled to find creative solutions. "Keep moving. We can outsmart them," she encouraged her team. "We're not just fighters, we're thinkers." With renewed determination, they worked together, combining their skills to navigate the obstacles. As they neared the finish line, they saw the leading team ahead of them, an imposing alien group known for their combat prowess. The aliens had their eyes on the prize, but they had become too focused on speed, neglecting their surroundings. Just as they reached the last hurdle, an unexpected trap activated, sending a shockwave through the course. The leading team faltered, caught off guard. Sarah seized the moment and shouted, "Now, let's go." Her team rushed forward, using their momentum to push past the startled aliens. They crossed the finish line together, exhilaration coursing through them. The crowd erupted in cheers, surprised by the human team's unexpected performance. As they celebrated, Sarah noticed the alien students who had once doubted her. They were watching closely now, expressions of disbelief mixed with admiration. The victory sparked a change in their perception of humans. It was a moment of unity, an acknowledgement that creativity and adaptability could triumph over brute force. In the following rounds, the challenges grew tougher. They faced alien warriors who relied on advanced weaponry and combat skills. Yet, Sarah's team continued to excel, combining their unique approaches to outsmart their opponents. Each battle tested their limits, but they had grown closer as a team, learning to communicate seamlessly in high-pressure situations. In the final event, they faced the champions from the previous year, an elite alien faction known for their ruthless efficiency. As they prepared for the showdown, Sarah felt a mix of nerves and excitement. This was their moment to truly shine. "Whatever happens, let's give it our all," Sarah said, looking at her teammates. "We've come so far, and I believe in each of you." With hearts racing, they stepped onto the battlefield, ready to face their toughest challenge yet. Sarah knew that this battle would not just be about victory, but also about proving that humans had a valuable place in the galaxy. Together, they would show that adaptability and teamwork could stand toe-to-toe with the most advanced warriors in the universe. As Sarah and her team stepped onto the battlefield for the final event of the intergalactic combat games, the atmosphere crackled with tension. The stadium was packed with spectators from different alien factions, all eager to witness the clash between the elite human team and the reigning champions. Sarah could feel her heart pounding as she scanned the faces in the crowd, a mix of excitement and anxiety swirling within her. Across the arena stood the opposing team, a formidable group known as the Zephyrians. They were tall and muscular, adorned with shimmering armor that reflected the stadium lights. Their reputation as ruthless fighters preceded them, and Sarah knew that this would be the toughest challenge they had faced so far. The Zephyrians stood confidently, exuding an air of arrogance that sent a shiver down Sarah's spine. As the referee signaled the start of the match, Sarah gathered her team together. "Remember our training. We adapt, we communicate, and we think outside the box," she reminded them. They nodded, determination shining in their eyes. The match began, and the Zephyrians charged forward, displaying their impressive speed and strength. They unleashed a flurry of energy blasts, forcing Sarah and her team to take cover. The ground shook as explosions echoed around them, debris flying everywhere. It was clear that the Zephyrians intended to overwhelm them with sheer force. "Get to higher ground," Sarah shouted, pointing to a nearby elevated platform. They sprinted towards it, using the terrain to their advantage. As they climbed, Sarah could see the Zephyrians regrouping below, strategizing their next move. They were powerful but relied heavily on their brute strength and advanced weaponry. Once on the platform, Sarah assessed the battlefield. "We need to draw them into a trap," she said, formulating a plan. "Let's create a diversion." Her teammate, Leo, had a background in engineering and quickly set to work rigging explosives from their limited supplies. While he worked, Sarah and the others prepared to lure the Zephyrians toward their trap. "Hey, down here," Sarah yelled, taunting the opposing team. The Zephyrians, sensing a challenge, turned their attention towards her. One of them shouted in a booming voice, "Let's crush these weaklings." As the Zephyrians charged, Sarah signaled to Leo. He detonated the first explosive, causing a cloud of smoke and debris to rise, obscuring their vision. The Zephyrians hesitated, momentarily confused. "Now," Sarah shouted. They leaped into action, using the confusion to their advantage. They rolled off the platform and attacked from the sides, catching the Zephyrians off guard. The combination of surprise and teamwork gave them a fleeting edge. However, the Zephyrians quickly regained their composure, counterattacking with fierce determination. The ground shook again as energy blasts flew past them. Sarah could feel the heat of the explosions, and her heart raced with adrenaline. They were fighting for their place in this galaxy, and she refused to back down. In the chaos, one of the Zephyrian warriors spotted Sarah and charged at her with a fierce roar. Sarah instinctively ducked and rolled, narrowly avoiding a powerful strike. With quick thinking, she grabbed a discarded piece of debris and hurled it towards the Zephyrian. The distraction worked, causing him to stumble and lose his balance. "Leo, now," she called out. Leo activated a series of makeshift traps they had set earlier, causing the ground to collapse beneath the Zephyrian. He fell into a pit filled with sticky substance they had created using their limited resources. The crowd gasped, shocked by the unexpected turn of events. Sarah felt a surge of hope. If they could keep this momentum, they might have a chance. As the battle continued, they worked together to isolate the Zephyrians one by one. Sarah's team utilized their understanding of the terrain, creating obstacles and traps that played to their strengths. Each member of the team showcased their skills, adapting to the ever-changing battlefield. With determination and quick thinking, they began to turn the tide. The Zephyrians, known for their brute force, were becoming frustrated and disorganized. Sarah could see the hesitation in their eyes as they struggled to adapt to the unpredictable strategies of the humans. Finally, after a fierce back and forth, Sarah spotted an opening. The leader of the Zephyrians, the one who had taunted them earlier, was momentarily distracted. "Now," she yelled, leading her team in a coordinated assault. They overwhelmed him, pushing him back with a flurry of calculated strikes. With their leader incapacitated, the remaining Zephyrians faltered, unsure of how to proceed without their commander's guidance. Taking advantage of their momentary disarray, Sarah and her team pressed on, combining their strength and ingenuity to launch a final assault. As the last Zephyrian fell, the crowd erupted in applause. Sarah and her team stood together, breathless and victorious, as cheers rang out across the stadium. They had done the impossible. They had beaten the reigning champions against all odds. The announcer's voice boomed through the arena, declaring them the champions of the intergalactic combat games. Sarah felt tears of joy welling in her eyes as she embraced her teammates. This victory was not just about winning. It was about proving that humans could stand shoulder to shoulder with the galaxy's mightiest warriors. As they celebrated, Sarah couldn't help but think of the journey that had brought them to this moment. They had overcome challenges, built friendships, and shown the universe that creativity, adaptability, and teamwork were powerful tools in any battle. The galaxy had taken notice, and she was ready to embrace whatever challenges lay ahead. As the cheers of the crowd echoed throughout the stadium, Sarah and her team stood on the winner's podium, their hearts swelling with pride. They had accomplished something remarkable. Beating the Zephyrians, the reigning champions, was a feat few had expected. This victory wasn't just about the trophy. It represented a shift in the perception of humans across the galaxy. Once the cheers faded, the announcer called for a speech from the champions. Sarah felt the weight of the moment. This was their chance to inspire not only their fellow humans, but also the alien warriors watching. Taking a deep breath, she stepped forward, her teammates flanking her. "Thank you for this honor," she began, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "Today, we proved that strength isn't just about power or advanced technology. It's about adaptability, teamwork, and the courage to think differently. As humans, we may not have the same advantages as others, but we have heart, and together, we can achieve greatness." The crowd listened intently, a mixture of surprise and admiration on their faces. Alien students who had once doubted the capabilities of humans were now considering a different perspective. Sarah continued, "Let's work together to create a future where all races can learn from one another. Our differences make us stronger, and I hope this competition inspires more collaboration and understanding across the galaxy." With that, the crowd erupted in applause, a sound that resonated deeply within Sarah. She had taken a risk by speaking from her heart, and it had paid off. After the ceremony, the atmosphere in the academy shifted. Alien students approached Sarah and her team, eager to congratulate them and learn more about their strategies. Many were curious about their unconventional methods and how they had adapted to the challenges they faced. The barriers between them began to dissolve as conversations flowed. Among those who approached them was a Zephyrian named Korak, the same warrior who had challenged Sarah earlier. With a respectful nod, he said, "Your team surprised us all today. Your creativity in battle is something we do not often see. I'd like to learn from you." Sarah smiled, thrilled by the offer. "We'd be happy to share what we know. There's so much we can learn from each other." This moment marked the beginning of a new era at the academy. Instead of viewing each other solely as rivals, students from different species began to see the value in collaboration. They organized training sessions where humans and aliens could exchange techniques and strategies. Sarah and her team became ambassadors of this new spirit of cooperation, breaking down the walls that had divided them for so long. As the weeks passed, Sarah found herself immersed in a blend of cultures. She learned about advanced alien technology while sharing human tactics and problem-solving skills. Each session brought fresh perspectives and innovative ideas. The academy transformed into a vibrant hub of collaboration, fostering friendships that crossed species boundaries. One day, as they practiced together, an idea sparked in Sarah's mind. What if we created a new training program? One that combines our strengths and focuses on adaptability in different environments. Her teammates and new alien friends eagerly agreed. They began to design a curriculum that would prepare students for unexpected challenges, emphasizing teamwork and creative problem-solving. This program quickly gained popularity among the academy's students, regardless of their backgrounds. It became known as the Unity Program. symbolizing the collaboration between species. As the Unity program flourished, so did Sarah's confidence. She felt more connected to her fellow students than ever before. She no longer viewed herself as just a human among aliens, but as a vital part of a diverse community united by a common goal: to become better warriors through understanding and cooperation. One afternoon, as she walked through the academy grounds, Sarah paused to take in the sights. Students from different species were training together, laughing and sharing ideas. The transformation was evident. What once was a competitive atmosphere had evolved into one of support and camaraderie. Reflecting on her journey, Sarah felt a sense of pride. They had shown that humans could not only compete with the galaxy's elite, but also lead the way toward a more inclusive future. The Academy had become a beacon of hope, illustrating that diversity was a strength, and collaboration could lead to unimaginable achievements. With each passing day, Sarah and her friends prepared not only for the next combat games, but for a future where humans and aliens work together as allies, facing whatever challenges the universe threw their way. The lessons they had learned would resonate beyond the Academy, inspiring others to embrace unity and collaboration. As the story of their victory spread across the galaxy, Sarah felt hopeful. Together, they had begun to write a new chapter in the intergalactic narrative, one where every species could learn from each other and create a stronger, more vibrant universe. Their journey had only just begun, but with open hearts and minds, Sarah knew they could face any challenge together. The legacy of the Unity program would inspire generations to come, proving that in diversity there was strength, and in understanding there was hope.